Congratulations, Jim Cochran, on winning the 2018 Informs President's Award. The President's Award is unique in that it is awarded by current and recent presidents of Informs for contributions to the welfare of society. You've been recognized for your high-impact initiatives that have improved the global education of operations research, analytics, and statistics. What was your reaction when you first heard you would be a recipient of the President's Award?
I was stunned and I was overwhelmed.
Good feelings. What does winning the Informs President's Award mean to you, both personally and professionally?
I suppose it means that three people who I really respect a great deal, Nick Hall and Brian Denton and Ed Kaplan, think pretty highly of some of the initiatives I've been involved in and feel for some reason that I actually deserve this award.
You've introduced educational methods to teachers in 14 developing countries and provided teaching materials to instructors in over 100 countries. How did you discern the need for this and ultimately make it happen?
Well, first I would say it's not just me. It's been a lot of people that have worked on this. So there are a lot of people that deserve a lot of credit for this. But I initially worked on some consulting projects with some governments in developing countries. And it seemed to me that there was a lot of low-hanging fruit. There were a lot of problems that we could address with fairly simple applications of operations research. But there wasn't enough of me to do all of this work, and these countries don't have the operations research capacity to handle all of these problems. So it seemed to me the most efficient thing to do would be to get people from Informs to train people on how to educate people better about operations research and about how to apply operations research to real problems. Then started thinking a little bit about how we could maybe take the teaching effectiveness colloquium that we had developed for Informs and adapt it so it could be applied to developing nations. Ultimately, I started thinking about colleagues in Asia, colleagues in Africa, colleagues in South America, and I started contacting people I knew, and pretty quickly we got a very strong and enthusiastic response from the leadership of the ALIO. That's the Association of Latin Ibero-American Operational Research Societies, and they wanted to partner with us. So in 2006, at their CLIO conference, we did a teaching effectiveness colloquium in Montevideo. That went really well, and from there we started doing these about once a year. And we moved to from there to South Africa, and then back to Colombia. Then we went to India, Argentina, Nepal, Cameroon, Fiji. That was a really nice one. I said Cameroon already. Croatia, Mongolia, Kenya, and Tanzania. I think, and Cuba. So we've been all over the globe doing these.
Right. What inspires you to give OR workshops and help launch analytics education programs in these?
I think what inspires me most are the people I work with, the people in other countries who are willing to work very hard to make sure that they can contribute to the well-being of other people in their country. They work very hard to educate their young people. I'm also inspired by their successes. They've done a lot of really good things with operations research without our assistance. And then finally, I'm also really inspired by a lot of Informs members who have volunteered to work on these initiatives, and a lot of them at their own expense, on their own time, have put a lot of time and effort, energy, and thought into these initiatives.
What regions or countries are next on your list to introduce these programs?
We are talking with colleagues in Bulgaria about maybe doing a workshop there at a conference next June. I just got back from Namibia and hopefully laid the groundwork for some sort of a workshop with our colleagues there sometime soon. Let's see, we've also been working with a friend at the NUST, the National University of Science and Technology in Zimbabwe, on developing an honors program at the undergraduate level in operations research for his university. We're also working with the University of Ghana in Accra to develop a Master of Science program in data science.
Did you find any particular country that you saw the most success from your efforts? and
That-
why that might be?
Yeah, that would probably depend on how you want to define success. But I think most places we've gone, good things have happened. I'm particularly pleased with the outcome in Mongolia. We worked with their government to determine what their needs were. Then the Mongolian government sent 17 academicians and government officials to the University of Alabama for 2 weeks. And I brought in some colleagues to each do one-day workshops on how to teach different topics in introductory statistics and operations research. They went home and on their own created a workbook on how to teach statistics at the high school level, and their government has decided that they are going to integrate statistics using this handbook throughout high schools all over the country in the science and math curricula. So I'm pretty pleased about that, and I'm hoping something similar is going to happen in Namibia. I talked a little bit about the ALIO and their CLIO conferences. We did 3 consecutive conferences with them, and at each of those conferences, the workshops that their members hosted improved dramatically from one conference to another until we got to the point at their 3rd conference that we did with them. I was blown away by the work they did. I think they made us look like amateurs. So that was pretty gratifying.
You are the editor-in-chief of the just published Informs Analytics Body of Knowledge.
Yes.
Can you tell us a little bit about this process, how it feels to finally see the finished product, and what you hope this publication will do for the analytics field?
Sure. It couldn't happen without the cooperation of an awful lot of people. We have authors, we have reviewers. Every chapter in the book was reviewed like a journal article would be reviewed. We have interviewers and interviewees. We have pieces of interviews that are interspersed throughout the book. And of course, we have Inform staff and Wiley staff that supported us as well. I think that it's a high quality piece of work. I think that everybody did a great job, and I think that's reflected in the quality of the product that you'll see if you go down to the Wiley booth in the exhibit hall. It's a terrific product.
Can you discuss any initiatives you're currently working on?
I think at this point, I'm focusing primarily on what we need to do for the 2nd edition of the Analytics Body of Knowledge, looking at how to put that online and make it accessible. Also trying to kickstart the revision of the Wiley Encyclopedia of Operations Research and Management Science that I'm the editor-in-chief of. And working a little bit more closely with friends and colleagues in Namibia to try to help them get things up and running. And I'm chairing dissertations for a few students in South Africa at the University of Limpopo.
Keeping busy.
Just a little.
Final 2 questions. How did you initially get into the field of operations research?
I kind of fell into economics as an undergraduate, and I earned one of my undergraduate degrees in economics and one of my master's degrees in economics, and I enjoyed studying economics a lot. But while I was studying economics, I took a lot of mathematics courses, some applied and some theoretical, real analysis and abstract algebra and things like that. And the more I went into economics, the more I realized what I really enjoyed was the mathematics and the modeling of economics. And so that naturally led me to think about a different career path. And I liked the more abstract aspects of mathematics a great deal, but I wanted to work on real problems. And it was difficult for me to see how that was going to happen with imaginary number theory. So I naturally gravitated towards statistics and operations research.
So now that we know how you got into the field, what keeps you passionate about this field?
I really like it when I find a problem that hasn't occurred to me before, that you could improve the quality of people's lives by resolving. And then trying to find ways that we can use operations research to address those problems. I think that a lot of people badly underestimate how versatile operations research is. I think our only limitation as to the types of problems we can apply operations research to is limited to our imaginations.
Great. Thank you so much, and congratulations again, Jim.
Thank you.